Of Tuesday's primary election, dozens taking to the state capitol with an important issue front and center: reproductive rights. But first, winter's not going anywhere. Another first warn alert day in the forecast beginning Tuesday night. Julian has what he can tell us and coming up in the forecast. That's all coming up right now at 5:30. We start tonight with a live look now at the state capitol. Sun setting in just a few minutes here on what's been a gorgeous weekend, but that's going to be changing at the start of our week. Before we get to that, though, let's take a look at what we can expect for this evening. Meteorologist Julian Searite joins us now from the weather patio. Julian?
Well, McKenna, we're going to be expecting a lot more quieter conditions throughout the rest of tonight and even heading into our Monday. But cloud cover is going to continue to increase for tonight, and we may see some breakage early Monday morning, but it's going to be another cloudy one for us. But speaking about the winter weather that is on the way, here's a look at our radar. Quiet throughout much of southern Wisconsin and the upper Midwest. Mainly into the Great Plains is where we're seeing any kind of remnants or even evidence of some snowfall, but overall things are rather quiet. But we're already seeing preparations for our friends into the far northwest. Now here's a broad look of where that winter storm watch is in effect. Parts of Minnesota, almost all of Minnesota, and even parts of northwestern of Wisconsin are under that winter storm watch for this system that's going to be moving in Tuesday nights for us. But again, that's not happening right now. Instead, we had a gorgeous weekend, plenty of sunshine throughout the day, but the clouds are continuing to build as we get into the rest of our evening hours. It's 43 degrees right now, feels rather nice, but we're going to see those temperatures slide into the 30s, especially right before midnight. We're going to hit right below freezing around 31 degrees. So currently enjoy the temperatures because we're seeing those mid to lower 40s throughout much of southern Wisconsin. Wind speeds aren't too big of an issue either. However, a bit breezier towards the Illinois state line. But as we take a look at for tonight, we'll see those clouds start to build once again. It will be a little colder than it was last night, bottoming out at around 23 degrees. But again, we do have updates on that winter storm system. We'll be breaking that down and what we can expect coming into the mid part of next week in a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. Tuesday's election is sneaking up on us, now just 2 days away. Today was the last day for in-person voting, but of course you can still vote at the polls on election day. And if you're new to Wisconsin and not a registered voter, you can register at your polling place voting on Tuesday. And if you're wondering, hey, where is my polling place? Just visit myvote.wi.gov. There you can put in your address and it'll direct you to the right voting location for Tuesday. Voters here in Madison will have two choices to make, deciding which two of the three mayoral candidates on the ballot will advance to April's general election. Incumbent Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway is seeking a second term in office. Gloria Reyes, a former president of the MMSD School Board, as well as former deputy mayor, launched her campaign last November. And then Scott Kerr, who's worked for the city of Madison for more than 4 decades, is the third candidate on the ballot. There's a much larger and more important race, though, that applies to all Wisconsin voters, the open seat on the state Supreme Court. The open seat means the court's 4-3 conservative majority is at stake. Now, 4 judges are on the ballot, and 2 top vote-getters will advance to April's election. Waukesha County Circuit Court Judge Jennifer DeRoe is well known for presiding over the Darrell Brooks trial last year. Former Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Daniel Kelly is running to rejoin the state's highest court. They're the 2 conservative candidates. Then Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Janet Protasiewicz and Dane County Circuit Court Judge Everett Mitchell fill out the ballot, with them being the 2 liberal candidates. Now again, the 2 judges who receive the most votes will advance to the April 4th general election. Arguably, the biggest issue driving voters to the polls, it's abortion. And earlier today, a coalition of pro-choice voters took to the state capitol to talk about just that. Our Braden Ross joins us now with more. Braden?
McKenna, this group of activists says there are many reasons to vote in Tuesday's primary, but number 1 on their list right now is reproductive rights. Dozens gathered at the Wisconsin State Capitol Sunday with one major issue in mind.
Our state Supreme Court can make a ruling to finally say, once and for all, that an 1849 law that attacks abortion rights and reproductive justice is fundamentally unconstitutional.
When Roe v. Wade was overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court last summer, Wisconsin reverted to an 1849 law banning the procedure in almost all cases. Shortly after, Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul filed a lawsuit challenging that law.
Right now, that case is still pending with the Dane County Circuit Court, and we assume whatever they rule will be appealed to eventually get to the state Supreme Court. And we're hoping they would find that law unconstitutional because other laws have been passed that supersede that 1849 ban. But that would at least get it to a point where abortions could be performed in the state again.
In the primary on Tuesday, voters will choose between 4 candidates to fill 1 open seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court, 2 conservatives and 2 liberals. The 2 highest vote getters will advance to the general election on April 4th. If a liberal candidate wins there, the court's current conservative majority would flip. Speakers at today's press conference included healthcare workers, labor rights activists, and even some who shared their own emotional experiences with abortion.
If this situation were to happen to me today in Wisconsin, I would have no choice. I would have no choice. I would have potentially delivered my son Leo and watched him die.
Despite their diverse backgrounds, they all delivered the same message.
If you think your vote doesn't count, it does.
And you can vote in the primary this Tuesday and in the general election on April 4th. All the information you need on how to do that you can find online at myvote.wi.gov.
All right, thanks, Braden. The University of Wisconsin announced on Saturday night the passing of former UW-Madison Chancellor Rebecca Blank. She spent 9 years on campus from 2013 through last summer to take the president's job at Northwestern University, but a cancer diagnosis prevented her from serving in that role. All noon tonight, our Andrew Banstra spoke with a student who attended the university during Blank's tenure and shares how her impact left behind a legacy.
McKenna, the outpouring of love and grief shared online following Chancellor Blank's passing is just a sample size of the impact that she had on this community. Beyond the human impact that she had on thousands, during the time, at the time of her departure, 4- and 6-year graduation rates were at an all-time high and enrollment surged. Her last freshman class was the school's biggest ever at the time. And as a student I spoke with said, not only was she a remarkable person, but she made UW-Madison a better place.
She was working on things for students that you could tangibly see the effects of. And as an undergrad, that made a big difference to me because, I had a younger sister who was going to be coming to the university in years to come. And one of my big prerogatives was how can I, as a student, work with, university leadership to make it a better university for students in future generations. And so I think she always had, the students at the time in mind, but also future generations of Badgers in mind as well.
In 2018, Blank debuted the Bucky's Tuition Promise, which offers scholarships to Wisconsin students whose families earn less than $65,000 a year. That's in line with her legacy, someone who in government and at the university fought tirelessly for economic equality. Join us at 10 and you'll see the outpouring of love Blank has received in the last 24 hours and hear more on the impact her legacy leaves.
All right, Andrew, thank you. We're seeing more reaction tonight on the passing of Rebecca Blank, including one from former President Barack Obama. Prior to being named chancellor at UW-Madison in 2013, she joined the Commerce Department and was the Deputy Secretary of Commerce for several years. President Obama tweeted this morning his condolences, saying in part, whether in government or academia, she devoted her career to reducing inequality and increasing opportunities for others and made everyone around her better. Meanwhile, the president of the University of Wisconsin System, Jay Rothman, saying in a tweet, Blank was a great leader for our flagship university, whose strength and vision built a legacy and foundation that benefits so many here in Wisconsin. She made us all better, and we will miss her. Still at tonight at 5:30, across the nation, an outpouring of love and support for former President Jimmy Carter after the Carter Center announces he'll begin hospice care from home. And later tonight at 10, if you had a home renovation you wanted to get started on, the Madison Build, Remodel, and Landscape Show could help you get started. We'll take a look at how some homeowners are getting their dream project started.
We so amazing.
The stylish Chevy Equinox RS and Chevy Blazer RS.
So captivating.
You don't have to be an influencer to be an influencer. The RS family of Chevy SUVs, definitely worth a follow. Well-qualified buyers get 2.99% financing on all Equinox models, or get $1,000 cash allowance on all 2023 Equinox models. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $750 cash allowance.
Lake Ridge may be a new name, but it isn't a new bank. It's one built on over a century of community commitment. One equipped with all the knowledge and resources of 145 collective years of experience. Monona Bank and State Bank of Cross Plains are coming together as one. As Lake Ridge Bank, we're doing more together for you.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock.
Because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30.
Tonight, Americans of all ages and political backgrounds are sending prayers to former President Carter and his family as he enters the last phase of his long and storied life. The 98-year-old Democrat who served one term in the White House from 1977 to 1981 is in home hospice care after several short stays in the hospital. CBS News' Mike Helgren has more from Mr. Carter's hometown of Plains, Georgia.
In Plains, Georgia, worshipers at Maranatha Baptist Church prayed for former President Carter during Sunday morning services.
Lord, we'd be amiss this morning if we did not lift President Carter to you. Lord, we pray that you be with his family, Lord, those around him, and God, we thank you for his service to this nation.
Mr. Carter and his wife Rosalind attended the church in his hometown for many years, and the former president taught Sunday school there. On Saturday, the Carter Center announced the former president, who is 98, will forego further medical treatment and enter home hospice care for the remainder of his life. Jimmy Carter is the longest living American president, and he spent his more than 4 decades after the White House here in Plains.
He cared about people that much where he wanted to talk about your vacation or how your family was doing. He didn't want to talk about worldly politics and things like that.
Lifelong resident Michael Dominic is touching up the famous Smiling Peanut statue that was brought to Plains during Mr. Carter's 1976 presidential campaign.
We're all family, man, and Mr. Jimmy's right in there with us, but he just does anything for anybody when he could.
In a legal brief for an environmental cause last year, Mr. Carter wrote, quote, "In my lifetime, I have been a farmer, a naval officer, a Sunday school teacher, an outdoorsman, a democracy activist, a builder, governor of Georgia, and recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize. And from 1977 to 1981, I had the privilege of serving as the 39th president of the United States. For years, the former president helped build homes for the needy with Habitat for Humanity.
At the end of the Habitat project, we always feel that Rose and I got more out of it than we put into it."
On Sunday, President Biden tweeted to former President Carter and his family, quote, "We admire you for the strength and humility you have shown in difficult times. May you continue your journey with grace and dignity, and God grant you peace." Mike Helgren, CBS News, Plains, Georgia.
Stay with us. Julian's back with another check of the first warn forecast coming up right after the break.
Great local coffee, expert wellness advice, and live music. Sounds pretty nice, doesn't it?
Monday, we'll preview an event where you can enjoy all three right here in the 608.
And it looks like it will be another active weather week. Join us Monday between 4:30 and 7.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Plexiderm. And if you haven't tried Plexiderm, we've created the best offer yet with our Valentine's Day Plexiderm 10-minute challenge. All it takes is 10 minutes to reduce the appearance of under eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. Even the 11 lines between your eyes are visibly gone in minutes. Plexiderm works so well that celebrities in Hollywood and people just like you feel years younger in minutes. This is why I'm letting people try it for only $14.95 this Valentine's Day at plexidermtrial.com.
So I've had under eye bags for a very long time, and it sucks. I have spent so much money on tons of eye creams, eye gels. Finally, I tried something called Plexiderm, and I'm not joking. It works. When I do a collage and everything is done, it looks amazing. That is exactly how Plexiderm makes me feel. I put it on my face, and somehow, some way, I look together, which is amazing. I'm Jackie, and I took the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge, and so should you.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. And yet, when you look in the mirror, what you see necessarily isn't what you feel inside. Plexiderm, seriously, honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there, like the bags are gone.
The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shale rock. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms, rapidly reducing the appearance of under eye bags and wrinkles in minutes. This Valentine's Day is the best time to try Plexiderm at our starter price of only $14.95. So if under eye bags make you look tired or feel older, take action this Valentine's Day and see that younger looking you. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
And we have a beautiful sunset for our Sunday as we're getting things rolling for us, but we do have some slight changes coming into the forecast we'll get to in just a moment. But until then, at least we had a gorgeous end to our weekend, seeing temperatures into the 40s once more. Now, getting into next week, the 3 things we're going to need to know. Here at the First Warn Weather Team, we're tracking a cloudy yet quiet start to the week, but going into Tuesday night, we are going to be tracking that winter storm system that is going to be bringing in light snow Tuesday nights through Thursday, but we're also going to be looking in some sleet and freezing rain to be mixing in with it as well. We'll break down those details in a few moments, but we can see that our friends to the northwest, even near La Crosse, are under a winter storm watch currently from this system that's going to be starting to impact through about Thursday. Here's a look at our surface map. Quite a bit going on, but we have that cold front which is sweeping through the upper Midwest, which is going to keep things on the cooler side for the rest of this evening, and we're going to slide into the colder once we get into the rest of the tonight. That means we're going to see those 20s heading into the overnight hours. But for tomorrow, at least temperatures will be into the upper 30s. We're looking at some mostly cloudy skies. May see a small little burst of some sprinkles or even some flurries. But overall, tomorrow's going to be rather quiet, and you don't necessarily need the rain gear or to adjust your plans due to any kind of light flurries or sprinkles. Temperatures around southern Wisconsin into the lower to middle 40s from Boscobel to Lone Rock and Prairie du Chien. 43 degrees for Janesville and about 41 degrees in Fort Platteville. Again, not going to be too bad of a night. So as we take a look at our future track, we're going to see cloud cover early, but then it's going to break up and then build once again once we head out our door for our Monday morning. Temperatures will be into the middle 20s, so it's going to feel a bit chilly heading out the door, but at least the winds won't be too strong or impactful until we get into the noon hour. Wind speeds will start to pick up as temperatures rise into those upper 30s, lower 40s throughout southern Wisconsin. And then once we get into around the 5 p.m. commute, areas just north of the Dells could see a couple of showers or sprinkles. And then later into the evening, we may see a couple around Dane County, but overall not going to be looking at much in terms of shower potential throughout the rest of the day or even for the night. Going into our Tuesday morning, expect another cold one, breezier conditions coming in from the north, which is going to be setting things up for our next winter storm system. So let's get into it. In terms of our alert day that's going to be impacting us from Tuesday night going into our Thursday, here's a look at some of the details. We're going to be looking at some snowfall, but it's not just the snow that's the issue this time. We're looking at ice and for freezing rain potential, which is going to be making things rather disruptive and potentially dangerous for some areas, especially if you are south of Dane County. That's where we're looking at the ice potential to be best, and the snow amounts will be north of Dane County. So let's go ahead and get into what we're going to be watching for. The system's going to be bringing in snow first through our Tuesday night going into Wednesday, but as we transition into Wednesday evening, we're looking for that system to be hitting up from the south, bringing in snow just north of Dane County, but you can see that purple or pink on your screen is going to be that freezing rain and sleet that's going to stick around throughout our Wednesday going into our Thursday before we start to see more snowfall going into our Thursday as well. Now, in terms of snowfall amounts, we'll be looking at that a little bit more later on, but here's a look at our 10-day forecast. As of right now, seeing those temperatures into the 30s with the alert days in the forecast from Wednesday into Thursday. We are going to be pretty normal in terms of temperatures. Around this time of year, it's typically around 33 degrees for us. But once we get through this alert day and this storm system, we will start to see a colder Friday once again. But next weekend, not going to be too bad either, McKenna.
All right. Thanks, Julian. Yeah. More news tonight. If that Instant Pot you were so excited about a few years ago was now collecting dust, I know mine is. Consumer Reports can help reignite that spark. Or maybe it's just time for a new love affair with a different countertop appliance. Shane Hogan has the breakdown.
The Instant Pot swept thousands of home cooks off of their feet and renewed our love affair with pressure cookers and crock pot meals. But perhaps the one-pot romance has fizzled and your Instant Pot is now all but forgotten.
So if it's been a while since you've used your Instant Pot, there's a chance that maybe you just got overwhelmed with these elaborate recipes.
Consumer Reports' Tanya Christian says remembering why you fell in love in the first place can help.
Instant Pots, multi-cookers are meant to make life easier and make cooking easier. So the best way to utilize them is to stick to what they do best. So think about tough cuts of meats, beans, stews, soups, and curries. Those are great in these small kitchen appliances.
CR's tests look at how well multi-cookers pressure cook pork ribs, slow cook chili, steam rice and vegetables, and how well they keep food warm. This Xaver brand multi-cooker earned top scores in all of those tests and is easy to use and clean. But maybe the spark is gone for good and it's time for something new. An air fryer toaster oven combo.
Air fryer toaster oven is exactly how it sounds. And what's nice is it combines these two small kitchen appliances that a lot of people love into one device.
The best of the bunch? This Breville. It offers many different functions, including convection, dehydration, and air frying. And its baking results, ease of use, and roominess make it worth the splurge. For less money, this Cuisinart is just so-so for baking and toasting, but it excels at reheating and is easy to use and clean, and turns out crispy fries and wings.
Many multi-cookers also have a yogurt function, which is a great way to make your own homemade yogurt at a fraction of the cost. And you can also make it without all the extra sugar you'd likely find in many store-bought versions. Still ahead, Badger women's hockey looking to end the regular season and senior day on the highest of notes. Jordan has highlights and more coming up in sports.
Madison liberals are trying to take over the Wisconsin Supreme Court. That's why we need to elect conservative Justice Dan Kelly. Dan Kelly has a proven record of protecting our freedoms and cast the deciding vote to end the COVID lockdowns of our schools and businesses. Sheriffs across Wisconsin have endorsed Dan Kelly because he has a record of enforcing the law. On February 21st, vote conservative Justice Dan Kelly for Wisconsin Supreme Court. Fair Courts America paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Habush attorneys are the best of what a personal injury attorney is about.
To get the most money for your case, you need to have a law firm that's unrelenting.
We will fight with all that we have in person power, in knowledge and experience to bring about the result they deserve.
I can't give them their life back how it was, but I can give them the financial compensation to get their life back on track.
As a veteran of our country's armed services, you have already made the ultimate sacrifice. Why should you have to continue to do that? Through no fault of your own, you may be experiencing hardships, such as the inability to pay rent, utilities, or receive other life-sustaining services. And once again, you're called upon by your family to serve and protect. We want you to know we are here to support you. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. It's not easy to ask for a hand up, but we are clear in our mission. No Wisconsin veteran should ever have to face homelessness or lose heat, power, or water again. 833-WISC-VRAP. That's 833-947-8727.
Charlotte DeLeste's personal battle with concussion, Thursday at 10.
And here it is, the regular season finale for Badger women's hockey. But before the team tries breaking out the brooms with top-ranked Ohio State, 7 players were honored for Senior Day. Jessie Comfer, Kayla Edwards, Cami Cronish, Nicole Lamantia, Grace and Sophie Shirley, and Natalie Butchbinder. Both all got to celebrate their careers in the red and white pregame with family and friends and in front of a sold-out Laban. Now we're going to head over to the action. This one feeling and looking like a playoff game. It's scoreless through 2 periods. Last time that happened between the Badgers and Buckeyes was March of 2020. Finally, the stalemate is broken up by Layla Edwards. She buries her 9th goal of the season. But this game goes sideways real quick for Bucky. Final 4 minutes, OSU nets 3 unanswered goals, 2 off the stick of Madison Beisel, and the Buckeyes win the finale 3-1. And they're skating away with the WCHA regular season championship. Next up is the first round of the conference playoffs. UW hosts Minnesota State in a best-of-3 series, and that begins on Friday at 7. Final round of the Chubb Classic. Steve Stricker just keeps on climbing the leaderboard. With 4 birdies so far, Stricker taps in another for good measure on 15 for the co-lead. And why not close out this round on a high note? Stricker makes his 6th birdie of the day on 18. He cards a 66 and finishes tied in the tournament for 2nd. Now, Jerry Kelly with also a solid outing as well. 1 bogey in this round. He rounds out the tournament tied for 4th and 4 shots off the lead. New week, same old situation for Wisconsin men's basketball, and they know it. This team will be the first ones to say that they just haven't been able to find a rhythm like they did earlier in the season. Each time they take a step forward by getting a win, they get set back with another loss. Now, right now, they're 4-6 over their last 10 games. And the way that they see things getting better, learn from the mistakes, tighten things up, and stick together.
We still got a lot of season left, so we can still turn it around. So we just got to rally the guys in the locker room and keep our heads up, keep rolling.
We got the right guys in the locker room here. Sticking together isn't the issue. We're gonna stick together as it is moving forward. But just continue to trust one another. Trust work we put in, and trust the game plan.
Stay with us to final check your first one forecast coming up when we return.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you, thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
All right, team. We got a big project coming up. And it all starts with ordering promotional products.
I'm on it. 4imprint makes it easy to get the logoed products you're looking for. The latest in apparel, drinkware, bags, high-tech items, and more. You can be certain of getting it right at 4imprint.com. Come on out. I'm on it. 4imprint, for certain.
After violence turned Waukesha's Christmas parade into tragedy, Judge Jennifer Doro ensured justice was served, maintaining order, protecting the rights of victims. Her Grace Under Fire won praise nationally. Now Judge Jennifer Doro is ready to serve on the Supreme Court. Wife, mother, prosecutor. Judge Doro's life's work is keeping Wisconsin families safe. It's no surprise Judge Doro is law enforcement's choice. The tested judicial leader, Judge Jennifer Doro for Supreme Court.
And here's a quick look at our snowfall and ice potential. The ice is going to be best south of Dane County with snow further north. Here's a quick look at our 10-day forecast. Folks, make sure you join us at 10. We'll have more of your news and weather here at Channel 3000.